It's the final week you have to hear us remind you about the Kinda Funny membership drive. All August long, we've been asking you to show your appreciation for the content we make by tossing us $10 on patreon.com/kindafunny or youtube.com/kindafunnygames. Y'all have shown up and we can't thank you enough. We've gotten Gregways on the weekends, weekly happy hours for all, and even the ability to be part of the shows. Thank you so much. And if you haven't pitched in, please consider doing so before the end of the month.
Today's stories include PS5 Pro details and looks seemingly leak. Remedy and Annapurna are teaming up. Dino Crisis is probably not happening. We'll have all this and more because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Hey gamers, what up? Welcome to Kinda Funny Games Daily for Thursday, August 29th, 2024. I'm Andy, the Nitro Rifle, the rootin' tootin' three-point shooting, Hispanic heartthrob, Texas Street, Latino heat. I threw it all off. But I'm joined by Ronell, a.k.a. 8-Bit Closed Fist, one of my favorite content creators on the internet. Ronell, how's it going, dude?
It's going great. It's going great.
Really happy to have you here. If you all don't know who Ronell is, you need to know. He's very big on TikTok and Instagram Reels and all that fun stuff. But I would call you like the rational gamer, Ronell. It's always like, hey, there's a lot of extreme sort of views out there in the gaming sphere. What if we just kind of like, everybody relax, everybody chill out. I'm just going to kind of give it to you straight. Would you kind of agree that that's sort of like the vibe you bring across?
I think that's the nicest thing anyone has ever said to me.
Yeah,
that's
perfect.
exactly the goal there. Just to be like, we're talking about video games here. It's really back.
It's always, you know, there's always some sort of wild take out there. And hey, look, I'm a fan of crazy takes. Don't get me wrong. I love saying dumb shit on the internet just to sometimes get a rise out of people. Mario Sunshine still is a 3 out of 10 though. But I just love when there's a wild take and Ronell will just go on his TikTok and go, okay, everybody, let's fucking relax for a little bit and let's just kind of like, let me just set the record straight. And I appreciate that about you. And that's kind of what initially drew me to your content on TikTok. And I've been following since, and we met up at SGF and we talked for about maybe 14 seconds, and then that was about it. And we kind of got pulled our separate ways.
A lot of stuff going on at SGF.
You were on the giant bomb couch, right?
I was.
How did that go for you? Was that your first time?
It was my second time going. Truly fun. I like just sitting it up, talking about everything that's going on in video games and the behavior of gamers, etc.
The behavior is probably the best way to freaking put it, I swear. Well, remember, this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and on podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, support us with the Kinda Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. For a chance to be a part of the show, submit your thoughts and opinions as YouTube Super Chats as we go. So make sure you get them YouTube Super Chats ready, whether it's about any of the news we're talking about today or whether it's asking Ronell about how you could just kind of start your career in gaming on TikTok and on social media. You don't got to really submit job applications. Look, if you're good on camera, if you have good takes, if you can get your thoughts across really quickly and succinctly, things can happen for you. So, submit your questions there as well. Housekeeping. We're an 11-person business, all about live talk shows. After Kinda Funny Games Daily, you'll get a Kinda Funny GAMESCAST, where Tim will join the two of us to talk about what we've been playing. And Ronell is going to be talking about Deadlock. I've been getting asked all the damn time, Andy, when are you going to play Deadlock? When are you going to talk about Deadlock? We're going to talk all about it on the Gamescast today, and Tim's going to be talking about what he played on his little honeymoon vacation. For Kinda Funny members, you can also get today's Gregway. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Carl Jacobs, Delaney Twining. Today we're brought to you by Dragon Age Vows and Vengeance podcast, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin what is and forever will be the Roper Report. It's time for some news. We have 6 stories today.
Hey, it's a baker's dozen, baby.
I like that one. I like that one. I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I was warned of beforehand, but I wasn't really expecting that sort of vibe. First story. PS5 Pro details leak.
Real quick, let me tell you who that was.
Yeah.
I gotta find it though. Banter just for a second.
That's again one of the. That's a Patreon supporter, and we've been asking everybody to sort of send in their at the certain level. I forget what money. I don't know anything about the business here right now, so sorry. But anybody at some Patreon level, you can submit your. Or if you could just like, if you drop off like a little like flash drive with your voice sound bite, we can also put it on the show for you.
Yeah, that was LOL Loser DC.
Perfect.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
That's the name on the file there.
Thank you for setting the tone right there. LOL Loser DC. This is the story about the PS5 Pro details leaking, and again, this was leaked by Bilbilkun. And usually, when Bilbilkun leaks stuff, it seems usually pretty legitimate. No surprises here. This story comes to you from Dealabs. No surprises here, as we know for sure that the console will indeed be called the PS5 Pro. We were unable to get a visual of the front of the packaging for the final box, but this allowed us to have a new idea of the final design of the PS5 Pro that has never leaked before. Looks pretty similar to a PS4 or to a PS5 Slim. It's got more of them lines, sort of like breaking up the top and the bottom section, which I like a lot. Due to copyright reasons, we will not be able to share the visual. However, you can check out a sketch drawn by us that illustrates the design of the PS5 Pro. A very good little illustration right there. Great job.
It's actually really good.
Very nice.
It's so cool that they were like, look, we can't legally show the
Yeah.
But we will, this is artistic rendering.
Yeah, of what I remember. Thus, we could see a design very similar to that of the PS5 Slim. We will find the same white color of the exterior facade of the console, 2 USB-C ports, and the power button, which will also be present on the front of the console. The first difference that can be noticed from our sketch is the presence of the 3 black stripes in the middle of the outer facades of the PS5 Pro. The type of outer facade, however, remains similar to that of the PS5 Slim, and we imagine that it is possible to reuse the replacement facades designed for the PS5 Slim. A lot of uses of the word facade in this. That's not the way I would use facade, honestly, but I don't know. Facade to me is like a fake.
Registering the facade thing.
Yeah, it's like a fake sort. I usually use facade as like it's like a fake sort of thing we're showing you. The other difference that we can only see from the final visual of the PS5 Pro is its thickness. Indeed, the PS5 Pro appears slightly thicker than the PS5 Slim. Missing disk drive? I think that's a lot of people's questions here. Unfortunately, we're not sure about this yet because indeed the visual we have comes from a PS5 Pro without a disc player. However, and even if we think that this will not be the case, we do not know about the existence of an edition with a disc player, even if it will probably be possible to put a disc player on it like the PS5 Slim. It is believed that this is rather a commercial choice by Sony in order to launch this console on the market with a competitive price by reducing the cost on the presence, parentheses, optional for some, of a disc player. We'll still have the same DualSense controller included with a PS5 Pro in white. The same is included in the PS5 and the PS5 Slim. Although Sony's plans can change at any time, the PS5 Pro will be announced very soon. We expect this announcement to be made during the first half of September 2024. And they better get out a little cheaper device on the market because after seeing the prices rise everywhere else, it's like, what is going on right now with Sony? Ronell, I feel like there was a lot of reports out there. There's a lot of like leaks and stuff like that about a PS5 Pro. Do you think that this will be completely discless?
It might be, man. It might be. I think there's a strong chance that it is.
I'm kind of with you right there. I do feel like when Sony, especially with what they're pushing for right now, and to get these pieces and parts and internal, little mechanisms and all that, in order to get the prices cheaper, I do feel like this might be their push to go for the discless future and for just getting the price of the overall thing a little bit cheaper. And I see somebody in chat says, Speedy Kill says, I need a disc drive, dude. I don't buy digital. Hey, I feel you. I have the disc version of the PS5 Pro or the PS5. I have actually 2 of the PS5s because remember I bought one for way too much money to play Bloodborne 60 frames per second. I'm a disc dude. Like, I always like having that backup, and the idea that, you know, this may or may not be the only one seems like to be the biggest question. I feel like the PS5 Pro has always been something that we knew was on the horizon at some point. We don't know when it was going to be. We knew it was, like, I think a lot of us were predicting probably before the end of the year. September seems like a pretty great time to announce that. It's a sort of state of play, and hopefully at that state of play, maybe we'll also get like a Ghost of Tsushima 2 or some sort of announcement like that.
Ghost of Tsushima 2.
I mean, it's gonna have, it's gonna be announced at the same time as a Bloodborne remaster. Now the PS5 Pro, is that something that interests you at all, Roneo? Like, do you have a PS5? Is that something that do you want that iterative sort of jump in hardware technology?
Not yet, but I think that's only because I have a PC, and like I'm not really too worried about that little slight jump in performance. That's really just like them trying to sell some extra, you know what I'm saying, some extra console products. I will say there is always a solid amount of people who say that they are for disc and buying disc, but somewhere, somehow, these companies are seeing these data, they're seeing the numbers, and they're saying people aren't really buying disc. Like, I know, like, they're coming out with discless collector's editions.
Yeah.
They're slowly trying to just remove that from us, like 100%. So I don't think this is going to have a disc.
Yeah, I feel you. I'm like, I love tech. I am such a consumerist, and I don't love that about me, but I love having the latest. I love having the latest and greatest, right? And especially knowing that based on recent strategies, that whenever Sony comes out with one of their big sort of first-party titles or one of their big timed exclusives, it's going to take a while for that sucker to get on PC. And I don't know if I necessarily want to wait all the time. And so I will be a day one buyer of the PS5 Pro, and that sucks. I don't like that about me, Ronell, but like the
that
truth.
Astrobot is going to run on your PS5 right now. Astrobot is going to run.
Okay, but what if I can also pop in the latest third-party game, like when Jedi Survivor came out on the PS5 Pro, and that sucker was dropping like 540p, 650p, or whatever the hell. Like, and you see that, right? Like when I played Final Fantasy 16, the demo recently on PC, it's like I was playing a brand new game, because playing that shit on PS5, I loved it. I love Final Fantasy 16. But damn, it would drop really, really low to try to keep up with the 60 frame per second. It would look very, very blurry and noisy at times.
So outside of you, right? You're in there. You're grabbing it.
Yeah.
Do you think this is more of everyone should grab this upgrade PS5, or if you don't have a PS5, grab the Pro?
I would say for anybody who's been waiting, that it would kind of be a no-brainer to get the Pro. I think. Because, I mean, we've heard reports as of like early or as recent as last year's, like, hey, there's still not a lot of PS5 units out there. Like, I think, yeah, they were really, really tough to get during the pandemic, but they were still not, like, they still don't have those numbers quite yet, which is why we've seen, you know, a lot of different games still doing that sort of cross-platform, cross-generation release strategy. I mean, it all depends on how much scratch you have and how much extra money you have, but if you've been waiting to get a PS5 and you're still playing on your PS4 Pro or whatever, you could be that person who gets the iPhone S generation, like, in between every other generation, you know, like that. If that is sort of your purchasing strategy and you've been saving up for a PS5, this seems like the no-brainer. I think it all just comes down to what's the price point. Is it going to be the PS5 price point, and is the standard PS5 then going to drop 50, 75, or $100, something like that?
I think 100%, right? I think, I mean, I don't know. Part of me is like, if they haven't got a PS5 yet, unless this is cheaper or like much more powerful and only a slight increase, I don't see anyone like being pushed to get this. I think this may be toward the people who bought PS5 day one, who are starting to see theirs like get a little junky, you know, slowing down a little bit, maybe running a little hot, right?
Yeah, mine's been on the ground.
PS5 Pro.
My PS5's been on the ground. I'm pretty sure there's like a lot of goldfish crumbs in there and stuff.
Yeah.
That thing probably doesn't smell great inside of it. It could be it could be one of those things like yesterday we had a Gamescast episode where we talked about our favorite controllers and how, yeah, you could spend 40, 50, 60 bucks and get a really damn good controller that'll have great back paddles. But for the premium sort of enthusiast market, this $200 Razer is awesome in so many different ways. And I would love to kind of know from their higher ups, from their executives, what is the audience they are going for here? Because I'm still kind of shocked that, reading those reports and hearing the news in the last week that the PS5 is jumping up in price in China and other places overseas. That's like still kind of wild to me that that's even happening. So for a new hardware release to kind of be on the horizon, I still don't know who they're going for. It's definitely me, but I'm not everybody. I think I'm such a small niche of the market that wants that latest and greatest. And do they need to go after the everyman? Do they need to go after the Xbox Series S purchaser,
Tinfoil hat here. Do you think they dropped this leak themselves to disguise the conversation between the price jump? Who knows?
If it's, part for the content, yes, absolutely. If we're doing this for the content, absolutely. It's all just one big play from Sony's higher ups. We'll see more exactly what this could be if this leak is indeed true. That and Bilbilkun is usually a pretty legitimate source of news and stuff like that. I feel like we'll be watching some sort of state of play or showcase. At the beginning of September.
I look forward to seeing how they talk about it. Are they talking about it like this is cheaper, but this is stronger? Are they comparing numbers? Because they never want to downgrade they don't want to downplay the console that's already out. So like, how are they even going to talk about this one?
This is the best PlayStation 5 we've ever made. Like Apple always does that shit. Yeah, like do they do the teraflops argument? Like that's been so long since we've heard teraflops ever since Xbox is, kind of teraflopped. Like when it comes to getting that news out there and making the grander audience, trying to get them to care about the numbers and the tech and that sort of arms race that is there. I don't know. It feels like such a different PlayStation. And now, I think one of the best tweets I saw recently was from Jeff Grubb saying like, man, did anybody else get out of the game at a better time than Jim Ryan with just like the struggles of the multiplayer stuff with Concord and with Bungie and Destiny shutting down and Marathon having issues we'll see exactly what's going on in the future, but I am definitely looking excited to see this new piece of hardware, and I'm looking forward to getting it, unfortunately for me. Store number 2. Remedy and Annapurna announced a strategic cooperation agreement on Control 2, which is very exciting. This is a little TLDR from Wario64 on Twitter, who says Annapurna will finance 50% of the development budget for the upcoming Control 2 video game and gain the rights to expand the award-winning Control and Alan Wake franchises into film and television. Remedy will receive a greater revenue share from game sales after the initial investments have been recouped, proportional to the amounts invested. Conversely, Annapurna will receive a greater revenue share from the audiovisual productions. Remedy will retain the full IP rights for Control and Alan Wake. And the story goes, Remedy is thrilled as finished people can be, to announce that they are working together with Annapurna, who are co-financing the development of Control 2 and taking the Control and Alan Wake franchises to film, TV, and beyond. What does that mean for you, our dear fans? Above it all, Remedy is able to make Control 2 exactly the game we want it to be. While we now also have an incredible partner to extend our IPs to other mediums, we are going to be publishing Control 2 ourselves. When I look at the games we have in the pipeline, the future of Remedy is incredibly exciting. You can trust us to keep bringing you incredible video game experiences. The Control 2 development team is working full steam ahead on the game. We know you are eager for news on the game and Condor, but you're going to have to wait for that. Mikhail Kusurinen, Remedy's creative director, and Juhao Vainio, I butchered the shit out of that. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Executive producer on the Control franchise, had this to say about the agreement. We're super excited to get Annapurna on board. Annapurna's creative values align perfectly with ours, making them an inspiring partner for the journey ahead. We at Remedy have been working on Control 2 for a while already. It's looking amazing, which just aside, that's so freaking exciting. Like I freaking love Control. And we feel Annapurna is the perfect partner to work with as the game development is moving forward towards production and eventually across the finish line. We did manage to get a hold of creative director Sam Lake on his well-earned vacation from getting Alan Wake 2 done to comment the following. I'm absolutely thrilled by this opportunity to expand the story of Alan Wake and our whole Remedy-connected universe to mediums beyond games, and to build all this in close collaboration, games, film, TV, and other mediums as well as one unified vision. I trust Annapurna are the perfect partner for us to make this dream come true. This is quite a unique partnership, and we're very proud to continue as an independent studio with full creative ownership of two of our most beloved franchises. We're very excited to see what we can achieve together with Annapurna and expand the Remedy connected universe even wider. This is all super, super exciting news. I'm stoked about this. I love Control. I am so excited to maybe kind of get this mind-bending mindfuck of a TV show, because that game constantly does that at every turn. I do know that there's some moments that really only lend themselves to being a gameplay-centric scenario, but I'm still stoked to kind of see these worlds put on the big screen. I mean, there's already tons of FMV type stuff in their game already. We've seen a lot of real-world stuff in their video games already, but does this excite you at all, Raniel? Were you a fan of Control? How do you feel about Alan Wake kind of getting its own maybe TV or movie treatment?
Phenomenal. I think if you're a fan of a franchise, fan of a game, this is the exact type of news you want to hear. Full creative control, right? This is it. This is it right here.
It's the perfect partnership. I mean, when I think of Annapurna and the stuff that they like to sort of fund, and it's never quite like A24 weird and unique, but it's always kind of skewing that way. And we see the stuff that they want to support and the stuff that they want to be involved in. It's extremely exciting knowing that, yes, Remedy will still retain all of the rights and will not lose any of the control over Controller Alan Wake. But to be able to see any of these things on the big screen, or, I mean, what I'm hoping for is like some sort of Hulu TV show, or Amazon Prime TV show, something like that. Like, we know that the quality can be brought there. I would love to see maybe, I mean, I know Sam Lake and their team are incredibly talented as directors, so maybe they want to be a part of this as much as Neil Druckmann was a part of The Last of Us on HBO. But I would love to see, oh gosh, I'm blanking on his name. He directed Ex Machina. He directed Devs. He recently did Civil War. Alex Garland is his name. I loved the show Devs on Hulu, FX/FX or whatever. But the show Devs was fantastic. It was that sort of mindfuck of a TV show. And I would love to see someone like Alex Garland sort of take the reins and bring this shit to real life. I'm just really, really excited about this. I think this is great news overall. Would you prefer a movie or a TV show, though, Ronell?
An Alan Wake TV show would be phenomenal. It would be absolutely phenomenal. And I'm glad we're at a place where we can ask for a TV show and it be good. Right. And it not be the worst thing we ever seen in our lives and disrespectful. But like an Alan Wake it could be multi different seasons. It can go on for Alan Wake, and it could be dark and it could be weird. It'll really be crazy. So I'm all for it. It could be
silly as hell. I mean, we know that Remedy can kind of just go all over the place with their tone, and suddenly there's like a silly comedic moment. And with the most recent Alan Wake DLC, like there was so much great. There was so much great comedy in that DLC, and I had a great time with it. I could totally see this being like the series of the TV show that then leads into some sort of movie or something like that. I'm just stoked to kind of just see what CG and what these artists can kind of do with like the pre-rendered side of things, as opposed to how amazing their games look rendered in real time with all the tech and the bells and whistles and shit like that. But yeah, I'm very, very excited to see this. So this is fantastic news. Go Remedy. We're rooting for you. Way to go, Annapurna. Story number 3. No space for Dino Crisis when Monster Hunter exists, says Shinji Mikami. I'm so sorry, everybody. And like, let's pour out your drinks, everybody. Like, that's a really, really sad statement to hear. But maybe they're trying to. Hopefully, the response they want right now is like everybody to be up in arms and be like, no, we want some sort of Dino Crisis to pop off here. This story's from Ed Nightingale at Eurogamer. Resident Evil and Dino Crisis creator Shinji Mikami said he doesn't feel there's a whole lot of space for a new Dino Crisis game, thanks to the success of Capcom Monster Hunter series. Speaking to Eurogamer at Gamescom with regards to the forthcoming Shadows of the Damned remaster, Mikami discussed the topic of a new Dino Crisis game. It's the series most Capcom fans want to see make a return, according to a recent survey. Well, shit, never mind. They already know. I thought maybe they just needed the outcry, but they already know. They have the data. They don't give a fuck.
They said,
Yeah, who put out that survey? Whose idea was that? Mikami said he was surprised at the fan reaction to Dino Crisis, but it seems the popularity of Monster Hunter has put him off continuing the series. I'm very surprised to hear that, said Mikami, in relation to fans wanting more Dino Crisis. Quote, the awesomeness of dinosaurs and the stuff you could do with dinosaurs, that's been kind of really nailed down by Monster Hunter in recent years. So even if I were to decide to remake or do a new version of Dino Crisis, I don't really feel like there's a whole lot of space for that kind of game right now, just since Monster Hunter has become such a big game. But yeah, it is surprising, end quote. When Capcom announced Exo Primal, oh gosh, that's another game as a service that just kind of came and went. Well, it was a good-ass game, though. There's just so many of them.
Was it?
I had a great time with it. It wasn't a good-ass game. It was a good 6 out of 10.
It was fun.
It was a good 6 out of 10.
Exactly what it was sent out to be.
Yeah. When Capcom announced Exo Primal, its online dinosaur-inspired shooter, many fans jumped to Dino Crisis, only to be disappointed. I know I did. Like, I was like, holy shit, this is going to be Dino Crisis. The concept is pretty, quote, the concept is pretty different from that of Dino Crisis, said Mikami, when I compared the games. Quote, I guess the fans got their expectations up, but here we are. What a weird quote that is. The last game in the series was Dino Crisis 3, released in 2003, and since then, it's reached cult classic status. However, there's no official word on any form of remake, remaster, or new game in the series. And despite rumors, Dino Crisis is yet to appear on PS Plus. Does this sadden you right now?
It does, but this speech here is hilarious. All of these quotes here are hilarious. He's basically saying, why do you want Dino Crisis?
Yeah.
That's 100% it.
Yeah.
He said, just go play Monster Hunter, even though they're very different games. I don't even really understand why he keeps putting them both. I mean, hey, he made both of them. I get it.
No,
he's just saying, go play Monster Hunter, guys. Like, why do you want to play Dino Crisis?
Yeah.
And I'm with him.
Like,
such a parent response of like, we have Dino Crisis at home.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Right.
Like, it is a very bizarre response in that you're right. They are different games. Like, people aren't necessarily playing Dino Crisis because it's like only dinosaurs. They're not looking at Monster Hunter and going, oh shit, thank God there's like a new dinosaur game coming out. Like, dinosaur enthusiasts aren't all flocking over there. I would say the Venn diagram of Dino Crisis fans are like, hey, I watched and loved Jurassic Park as a kid, and I love Resident Evil. And that's like, that was that sort of melding of that horror survival stuff going on with dinos. So like, it is a very, very different market. It'd be like, why does everybody want a Halo Battle Royale when there's Fortnite? Like, it's like asking that sort of question. It's a very, these are very, very different genres. But yeah, all of these quotes they do kind of ring odd to me because a lot of it does feel like, hey, we a lot of fans are super stoked and want more Dino Crisis, which is wild. like he may as well have said that,
Which I don't get, really.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, that shit's old game's old. Yeah, very, very thrown off by that, especially them sort of being like, yeah, a lot of people wanted back on this survey, but we fired the guy who sent out the survey, so who cares?
Right, he's there. Clearly we would make a lot of money, but like, is it worth it?
Yeah, very odd. But I get it. I think that when old games can sort of hit that cult classic status, that doesn't necessarily relate to immediate profit. Like, I think games have seen that. I think a lot of developers and publishers have seen that when the internet is clamoring for goddamn, oh God, what was the what was the vampire movie that everybody wanted to come back to theaters with Jared Leto? Marvel. Morbius. When the internet is clamoring for Morbius to come back to theaters, and then Sony's like, shit, they want it, let's do it. And then it made like $12. Like, I get that. I understand people going like, hey, there's a lot of like nostalgia, right? There's a lot of nostalgia, and there's a lot of this cult classic status certainly means something. It means that we could probably sell figurines and t-shirts, but if we were to put the resources required to put 2.5 to 3 years of development on a Dino Crisis sequel or a really nice looking remake, that doesn't mean that it's gonna sell a lot of copies. And I get it, from like, it sucks, but like from that sort of business mindset, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, 1000%, right. Dino Crisis probably won't move as many units as we all would like to believe, right? It kind of happened with what? Well, I guess the new Jet Set Radio technically hasn't come out yet, but like, was it
Bomb Rush, Cyberpunk? Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, like that one, I think the nostalgia remains in a safe little nice spot for people, but realistically speaking, just because it was fun and great and, you know, amazing then, I don't know if the same concept could be brought and made great again. It just don't. He said, trust me, guys. You think you want it. Just go play Monster Hunter.
Tom123 in the chat says it happened with Mirror's Edge. And I've always sort of felt the same way about something like Road Rash or one of these sort of these vehicular combat games. Everybody wants a new Twisted Metal after the Twisted Metal TV show. I'm like, guys, that genre just doesn't really cut it nowadays, unfortunately. You have to have like a much larger game outside of just driving around with cars and battling each other, because that was awesome back in the day and that was innovative and that meant something back in the day, but that it's a different era. We're 3 decades removed beyond that, you know?
I say the same thing about Prototype. So many people want Prototype, or maybe even a new Infamous. Infamous maybe could work, but a new Prototype, it was fun as heck as a kid. It really was. But that's because open world was new to us, you know, and just running around doing stuff was fun. Realistically, if they brought that back, it might not hit the same.
It's Crackdown 3, you know, like, and I didn't play much of Crackdown 3, but man, you know, we play the shit out of part 1 just to get that Halo demo. Everybody knows that.
Right.
So I don't know. I totally understand their sentiment with this. It makes sense to me. Even though I feel for the Dino Crisis fans out there. I feel for y'all. And I feel for you out there who are not Patreon members, who are watching this after the fact, because you don't get the ad-free version. I totally understand that. But for the Patreon members out there, or the people watching live right now, Kevin, put the ads on.
From the award-winning game studio BioWare comes an immersive fantasy series, Dragon Age: Vows and Vengeance. A pair of heroes brought together by fate to embark on a journey of revenge, redemption, and love. Set in the vast world of Thetis, Dragon Age: Vows and Vengeance features key characters from the upcoming game Dragon Age: The Veilguard, rated M for mature. Let's check out a trailer.
So, what's the mark?
The Eye of Kithiska. From the world of Dragon Age comes a new tale.
The eye was crafted centuries ago by a powerful dreamer.
Listen to me. You've been tricked. We have to put this back and leave.
I'm sorry, but I won't let you pay for my mistakes.
The eye will destroy us.
Dragon Age: Vows and Vengeance. Listen and subscribe wherever you get podcasts.
Check out Dragon Age: Vows and Vengeance, an 8-episode immersive fantasy series now at kindafunny.com/dragonage. That's kindafunny.com/dragonage.
I swear one day I'm going to nail a segue to the ad break. One day I'll get it.
I liked what you did.
I just
almost there.
You know, I don't have a lot of chances to host, to be like the main dude in the chair, which don't get me wrong, I'm not asking for that. I don't want that. You know, like it means you got to wake up a little bit earlier, and you know, the other day when I had to be at work by 9 to do like a little Patreon chat, Ronell, I was like, who goes to work at 9? That's crazy. Like, y'all do this?
Most of the world starts early.
Yeah.
Your words are saying you don't want that, but your body is saying give it to me.
Yeah.
Give me the limelight. Give me the spotlight.
Exactly. I have a little $5 super chat right here from Mara in the YouTube chat who says, Alex Garland in review when? Dread, parentheses, he wrote it. Good ass movie, Dread. Ex Machina, Annihilation, Devs, and Civil War is a crazy run. Annihilation always looked too scary for me. That's a Natalie Portman one, and I know that it gets real freaky near the end or something like that. I've just heard stories. I'm not a big scary movie guy, but Devs was freaking phenomenal. That was one of my favorite shows throughout the pandemic.
I don't think it's scary. I think you'd like it.
Yeah, but Kevin, you used to be like me until you became a traitor. Okay,
My wife likes to go to scary movies. I don't like it. I'm very uncomfortable. I sit there. I pretend everything's fine. Gotta be tough.
Pure panic. Thank you, Mara, for that super chat. Story number 4: Dragon Age: The Veilguard PC features. Oh baby, this is very, very exciting. I did talk about on stream the other day, just how worried I am because BioWare has been talking a big game regarding, hey, in total we've put in like 200,000 hours on testing this game on PC. And if it comes out, and if there's the slightest bit of rumor or news that it's crashing, or it doesn't run, or the shaders don't compile, or all this stuff, like, I will never hear the end of it from Greg Miller. And I don't want that for myself. Like, I cannot physically or mentally take that anymore. So anyway, let's read the story right here. Today, we want to specifically touch on the PC experience for Dragon Age: The Veilguard. The Dragon Age franchise started on a PC, and we wanted to make sure PC is a great place to play our game. Many of us at BioWare are PC players ourselves, and when testing, PCs made up 40% of our platform testing effort with over 200,000 hours of performance and compatibility testing. Getting the PC experience just right was crucial to us, and we created a dedicated team to focus on PC. Dragon Age: The Veilguard will feature native support for PS5 DualSense controllers, with haptics support in addition to the standard of Xbox controllers plus keyboard and mouse. Additionally, you can seamlessly transition between controllers or keyboard. Oh, that's great. They really do give a shit. Because the amount of times that keyboard won't recognize it, or even some games where I unplug my controller and the game crashes. Like, that happens sometimes. So that's awesome that even this is happening. So you can seamlessly transition between controllers or keyboard and mouse while playing or in menus. There are many different ways to play our game, so in order to allow to find the most comfortable setup, we've added the ability to customize class-specific keybinds that you can easily switch between. That means that your Rogue Rook can use a different set of keybinds than your Warrior Rook. That's super sick. Okay, they give a shit. They really care. Yeah. Along with the standard resolution options, we also have full support for 21:9 ultra-wide monitors. Don't worry, we didn't forget the cinematics either. Just disable the option titled Cinematic Aspect Ratio. This will remove the enforced black bars so you can watch the cinematics in full ultra-widescreen glory. That is sick as shit. Okay. No matter what size monitor you're rocking, you can adjust your FOV with an FOV slider in the settings. There will be an option for uncapped frame rate as well. We'll also be launching with full HDR support. Most changes to graphics and display settings are reflected in real time, and you can see the impacts of those changes through the cutout in the UI. This will help you make informed decisions as you tweak your game to look exactly how you want. Damn, Digital Foundry is gonna love this shit. Like, every time I watch a Digital Foundry video, it's always like, why are these PC settings so garbage, and why can't I see exactly what I'm affecting? That's awesome. We know a lot of you like to play on Steam, and we wanted to meet you where you are. We're happy to be completely Steam native for Dragon Age: The Veilguard.
100%.
Get that EA fucking app out of my face.
Please.
I will fucking uppercut it. We're already Steam Deck verified, and with Cloud Save on Steam supported, you can seamlessly switch back and forth between your PC and your Steam Deck as much as you want, with no interruption to your progress. We also have remote play enabled if you'd rather play on your TV. If you'd like to utilize it, there will be completely optional linking process to your EA account. I'm okay, thank you though. If you want to hear a few advanced settings and options for the PC community, let's go over that now. We support full ray tracing features as well as an ultra RT mode for extremely high-end rigs. We have several types of upscaling available: NVIDIA DLSS 3, FSR 2.2, which has been heavily modified specifically for the game, and XESS, which is Intel's version. We also support DLSS 3 with frame generation and NVIDIA Reflex. They know the frames win games right now. That's amazing. And we have more PC features to share. We'll circle back on those before launch. They're doing it right. I mean, this is the way you put your best foot forward. And the paranoid part of me is like, are they doing this because the game's bad? You know what I mean?
No, that's 200,000 hours of performance and compatibility testing speaking right there.
And yeah, obviously, like you could tell that these people, a lot of them mentioning we are all a lot of primarily PC gamers, right? Mm-hmm. They know how it's like to go into your settings, and when you want to turn a setting on, you don't even see what it's affecting in the game. I love when games let you sort of just peek through the menu and see what's happening on the screen in real time. Mm-hmm. Some games like I know Ubisoft Star Wars Outlaws will show you a little visual example, which is still really helpful. It's way better than nothing. But there's a lot of games out there that just don't really give you the option for that. The thing I'm most excited for is this cinematic cutscene thing that will take your full 21:9 widescreen monitor. Ronell, are you excited about Dragon Age? Do you care at all about Dragon Age? Will you be playing Veilguard at all? And if you are, will it be a PC game for you?
I'm hoping this is one of the best games I played this year. That's where my expectations are for this game. That's where my hopes are for this game.
Likewise.
My expectations might land a little lower, but I'm hoping at the very least that I am playing this and I am wowed. So to hear that it's Steam Deck compatible, it actually changes my mind a little bit about where I want to experience this game, to be 100% honest with you.
Greg Miller's in the same boat where he is sort of experiencing more of the PC side of things with his Steam Deck, and he loves the ability to just kind of dock it or whatever. It's one thing to be Steam Deck verified. It's one thing to have your game not crash and run like shit, but it's another thing for it to run at 30 frames and look like shit. Because I know a lot of games like will come out to Steam Deck. A lot of more modern games that require a lot of juice from your machine. There are definitely some games that I mentioned Dragon's Dogma 2 on Steam Deck looks real bad. Like, and I get it. That's a very, very visually intense game. So will Dragon Age Veilguard. And I hope it just doesn't look like a noisy mess because you have to run AMD FSR at like ultra performance mode in order to get the highest frame rates, 30 frames at least minimum, you know?
Yeah. And that's and why I am changing possibly where I play it, or at least considering playing it on PC, is because one, obviously was going to be probably a console buy for me, right? But with what they're saying about PC and all this hype that they're putting behind the work that they put behind it, it's telling me that I can do one of my favorite things, which is to experience a game on PC in its full glory, but still hop over to the Steam Deck for like some of the grindy stuff, some of the small stuff, you know, those overly late night sessions. So if this works as well as they're saying it does with the cloud save, the all that fun stuff, the underrated feature here, which is like seamlessly transitioning between keyboard, mouse, and controller, which is really huge because sometimes I just want to touch the screen on my Steam Deck to like navigate a menu, and that activates the mouse, and then things get weird. If all of that really works, the place to play might really be PC for me for Dragon Age.
It's super exciting. Yeah, I at least hope it looks decent enough because the Steam Deck made me more of a handheld gamer than I thought I'd be. Like, of course, I played a shitload of Game Boy back in the day, and I was all about just playing Pokemon on all the different Game Boys. But then handheld gaming just totally fell out of my gaming sort of like rhythm or whatever. And the Steam Deck really brought it back in a big way, where an hour to two before bed, I'm playing something, whether it's a small little indie title that released or whatever, or recently I've been playing Dragon Age Inquisition on my Steam Deck. It's really exciting. I hope it at least looks decent enough because as much of a visual stickler as I am, on the Steam Deck, I grade on a curve. I'm like, hey, at least I'm playing this game in handheld. I don't really mind that it doesn't look great, but if it looks Dragon's Dogma bad, I don't know if I can quite handle that level of fidelity, unfortunately.
And it might. It might.
And I need people to understand that, like, again, I gave it my game of the show at Summer Game Fest, but it, like, watching it in action, I know there's tons of like 4K trailers out there and 4K gameplay snippets, but watching it in action is something completely different. And I always say that whenever we're doing some sort of reaction to a state of play or an Xbox showcase or whatever. And my main thought, the first place my brain goes to is like, damn, this looks good right here. Can you imagine on a screen in front of you playing the game and not just like a YouTube compressed video or whatever? The Dragon Age Veilguard was so unbelievably good looking when I was watching it being played in front of me that I kept on looking at the PC and be like, is this a real gameplay session? But then they would pause it and be like, what selection do you want me to do? I'll do the happy response if that's what you want, or the sad one. You know, like watching it play in front of me was just absolutely mind blowing, and that's kind of what set the bar of like, holy shit, I think Dragon Age is back. I think BioWare is fucking back. You know?
Yeah. It looks gorgeous.
This is all extremely, extremely exciting. Story number 5 is a little bit of a tweet thread from the devs making Clair Obscur Expedition 33. The devs are Sandfall Games. Expedition 33 is the game that Clive Rosefield. Hi, I'm Ben Starr. That's a pretty damn Ben. You can't even fucking.
No, that was actually really good.
You can't even argue with it, Ben.
We have special guests.
Thank you. He's on the Discord call right now. This is a little tweet thread kind of showing off exactly what Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is. If you all don't know what this is, if you're an audio listener, if I can remind you, if you watch any of the recent sort of state of plays or SGFs or any sort of showcases that we've reacted to, this was the one that not only Ben Starr was the voice actor in, but it's a turn-based RPG with a lot of like, I mean, not only was it absolutely gorgeous, but it has a lot of sort of rhythm to the combat. How do we bring a more of a real-time vibe to turn-based combat? So let me read some of the tweets from this thread from Clair Obscur Expedition 33. The turn-based RPG with real-time mechanics centered around the eponymous expedition as they strive to prevent the paintress from ever painting again. And I believe she's the villain, is what I remember from the trailer. We've infused Expedition 33 with rich environmental storytelling throughout the game. You'll encounter numerous destroyed structures, worn paths, and remnants of the expeditions that came before. For example, in Flying Waters, Expedition 68 met their end, and by exploring the setting, you can see how they met their demise. You can switch the party leader at any time when you traverse the world of Expedition 33, letting them lead the expedition as you explore the world and overcome the challenges ahead. Whether you prefer to lead with your favorite character or the one best suited for the upcoming battle, the choice is yours. You can customize their appearance with unique outfits, hairstyles, and discoverables across the world. These customized looks have no effect on your character's skills or abilities, so you're free to use whatever fits your style best. You can interact with the environment using climbing hooks, ledges left by previous expeditions, or the grapple in your kit to ascend to new heights. Exploration is heavily rewarded. Well, let's see what else we got on this thread here. Combat is kind of what I really, really want to look at.
Yeah,
because I always give Barrett shit here at our company for always being the turn-based guy, and I always like make fun of turn-based games. Even though that's like one of my hot takes is like I'll just throw it out there and make fun of turn-based games, even though I know they're very good. I know people love them, but
this is the one. This is the one for you though.
You hit attack, and then I gotta go answer the Uber Eats. I gotta answer the door. My Uber Eats is here. Like I want to be in there, right? And this seems to be the most sort of visually stunning of them all. This seems to be the most exciting of them all. So let me tell you about their battle system, which is what they called reactive turn-based, where you'll need to input commands when you attack, but also remain reactive whilst. I love a good use of a word whilst.
Yeah.
Whilst.
That ST is nice.
Yeah, whilst enemies attack to effectively defend your party from damage. Parties take turns attacking or defending with the turn order displayed on the left side of the screen. While basic attacks deal low damage, skills often involve a timed reactive command to maximize their effectiveness and add additional bonuses. Skills cost AP, which are action points to use, and the cost varies between skills. Though you gain 1 AP per turn, you can customize your build to get AP from other sources, such as successful parries. And I love a good parry. You know that, chat. Chat knows that. Some multi-hit skills may allow you to chain an attack combo, unless you fail your inputs. Some may even backfire and cause damage to you if you fail your input. So careful timing and practice will be key to maximizing your effectiveness in battle. And I freaking love that, because I am such a parry-based gamer. I would rather struggle through a Lies of P boss and die 40 times when I know that I could beat it in 10 times if I was just dodging. But the risk reward of parry is like so key and so rewarding to me. And I love the fact that parrying here, you do it wrong, if you don't time it right, that's going to result in you getting hits. That's sick as shit. Similarly, when an enemy attacks, you'll need to time your inputs to minimize damage. The timing windows for these inputs vary. Dodging has a larger window, allowing you to evade the attack entirely, while parrying has a tighter window that negates damage and can trigger a powerful counterattack if you successfully parry the entire enemy combo. Ronell, were you like any of us who saw Expedition 33 was like, what the fuck is this, and where has this been?
1000% jaw dropped immediately. I seeing this recent trailer with the actual gameplay, it made me feel even better about it. Obviously, I seen that announcement trailer, that reveal trailer, and I said, this looks great, but how is it actually like going to play? This latest trailer says that it's actually going to play like this, at least from so far. Extremely hype. I love everything about that. The dodge mechanics, the jumping over stuff, the free aim, which they haven't talked about too much. I've seen, but like the free aim for like aiming at different body parts and stuff with ranged attacks. Fire, and it's perfect for me because I am fresh off of a Sea of Stars high.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So you would, if Barrett was in the chair instead of Kevin, he would be absolutely just enthralled right now with you hyping up Sea of Stars because he was the only one who played it, so nobody else put it on their top 10 of the year last year.
I'm gonna go find him. He might be here.
I feel for him.
He loved it. He wanted someone to talk to so bad.
Every day.
Begged people to play it.
And no one played it.
It's just
we don't have time.
It's just Ronell, like a turn-based game, like what it takes
real.
forever.
It's so
But you can kind of parry.
What if I just
kind of parry?
What if I just run
Think
around
about
and
that.
dodge and fucking, like, you know what I mean? What if I just
It's disrespectful.
But yeah, this game looks fantastic. I love the look of it. I think visually I think the reason why it sort of hit so hard was like, this is not a major developer or publisher, but this is a brand new IP with a game that's been in development for however many years. Nothing got leaked. Holy shit, look at how stunning everything looks. I think the use of UI and the use of particles and everything, it's like the 3D sort of like ray traced version of what Persona does with their UI and what Atlas does with their UI when it turns to turn-based combat, and how flashy and shit that looks. Like them being able to go full style with everything else here looks freaking fantastic. Art direction, art style, everything is just on point. I'm really, really excited for this. This will be probably the first turn-based game I play in about 20 years.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you. No, I played I've played a lot of Pokemon since then. Pokemon's the only one, Chad. All right, don't get mad.
I know that's why I always bring that up when people say they don't like turn-based games. You played Pokemon, you play Uno at a family gathering. It's turn-based.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And then you had this fucking Dark Souls 3 looking character.
See, but then you're playing this, and it's going to set this bar for action and immersive gameplay and combat for turn-based games, and you're probably never going to hit this high again. Unless Expeditions 44 comes out.
You're probably right. Damn, I don't know if I want to do that to me. Story number 6 is a little preview roundup on Batman Arkham Shadow, which is the VR Arkham game. We have Ryan at IGN says, so where do I stand after 45 minutes of Arkham Shadow? Besides the other side of the room where I started, I mean, thanks to all the punches, turns, and crouches and stealth grabs, I'm quite optimistic, honestly. I really wanted to keep playing when they took the MetaQuest off my head, as the campaign really seemed to just be starting to hit its stride. Should you go out and buy MetaQuest 3 just for this game? It's too early to make that call, but at the very least, it has the potential to tempt a lot of people. And Joseph Earl at Mixed News says, for the life of me, I can't imagine Batman Arkham Shadow will not be a great VR game. The combat system works brilliantly, the graphics are stunning, not just by Quest standards, and I was immediately captivated by the atmosphere. It remains to be seen whether Camouflage will be able to maintain the suspension in terms of level design, bosses, and story over the game's intended 8 to 12 hours of runtime. In any case, I'm confident. I'm not a VR gamer. I always want to vomit when I play VR games. Even when I look at VR gameplay, Ronell, it makes me... we had a sponsorship I think it was like sometime last year, and it was for, oh gosh, I'm blanking on the name of it, but it was the VR game that IGN gave it 10 out of 10.
That one I know. The immortal
Asgard's Wrath. Asgard's Fall.
Yeah,
Asgard's something.
Wrath. I think you're right.
Wrath sounds good.
Asgard's Wrath 2. Greg was doing a sponsor, and I was supposed to join him, and I was just watching gameplay, and I just can't do it. I don't know why. I can watch first-person shooter gameplay, but something about like the natural kind of head bob in VR gameplay just makes me feel some sort of way. Are you a VR gamer, Ronell?
Shout out to Super Hot. Shout out to Beat Saber.
The usuals, yeah. Those are the ones I could play because you just sort of stand in place. Yeah.
I can't imagine. Shout out to the people that's excited for this video game and VR games, man. I'm ready for it to die. I'm ready for the entire trend. I'm ready for the entire push. It's like 3D glasses, but slightly more successful for me. Like I'm not interested.
Yeah, there's I feel like we all kind of feel that way here at Kinda Funny. We love the spirit behind it.
I do not.
Well, Kevin loves it. Kevin loves VR
you
stuff.
put me in there, I can run around no problem. I only vomited once.
Yeah, like I don't mind a VR game, a VR golf game every now and then. Something where you're just sort of stationary. Anything requiring action, I just can't do. But yeah, I think it's a platform that it reminds me of, honestly, like something like Google Stadia, where it's something at its initial thing, it has so much promise, and you're like, wow, this is the future. Yeah. And the first time I experienced VR was mind-blowing to me. I was like, oh my God, can you imagine walking around in Mass Effect and suddenly you can walk around the Normandy in VR? Like, this is the future of gaming. And it never quite, I don't know if it ever fully realized its potential. And I don't know if the potential just was never quite there to begin with, but we just sort of saw higher heights for it, you know?
Yeah, I think in 150 years, VR gaming will be like solid. I think it'll be doable. About 200
when the Earth is fucking burning up. Florida's underwater.
Those guys at Kinda Funny didn't know what they were talking about. VR is it. Until then, man, give me a couple seconds, man. And it sucks because tell me this 20 years ago that we're getting cool VR games. I like the idea of some of them. I would love a shooting game in VR. That sounds like something I asked for, when I was in middle school. But now, man, not interested.
Yeah, not super practical either. But yeah. I hope this game comes out and it's awesome and it sells decently enough to like not lead to any really, really bad backlash or anything happening with the studio, because
it's Batman. Of all the VR games, Batman will be fine.
Yeah, hopefully. Because Batman. I hope in this game I hope he's massive. You know what I mean? I hope he's huge.
And then he's still a detective.
But if I wanted to go if I wanted something smaller, Ron Nail, say the tiniest news I needed to know about, where would I go?
You'd go to our last story, the Wii News channel, where we cover all the small news items you need to know about.
Beautiful. That was a seamless transition.
That was
the first one that I crushed all day.
But Andy, like you should have just been like, instead of being like, let's make a massive, like, man, Batman, that's a massive IP, you know?
Why did I go with size?
I know.
Why did I go with his musculature?
Look, it wasn't bad, and there's nothing to be ashamed
Damn, you're
about.
so right.
I'm just saying.
No, it was good. No, don't think about it. It was good.
Ronell fucking set me up. He was like, yeah, Batman. Look, if Batman's huge, he'll do it. Like, I had it right there, bro.
Like, go for it.
Yeah. Vampire Survivors is out now on PS5 and PS4. The Borderlands movie has a digital release date of August 30th, 2024, less than 1 month after it premiered in theaters. I got that already pre-ordered. I have the digital deluxe edition.
No, you don't. Take it back.
Comes with a poster. I got a little poster on the way. Randy Pitchford does a little magic trick for me as well. Guilty Gear Strive Nintendo Switch Edition banner spotted at PAX West. Oh, okay. So Strive is going to Switch. Interesting. I mean, no, Switch has got some fighting stuff. Yeah, Switch has fighting stuff.
Well, they could do it.
Yeah.
You think they got the netcode like that though?
Oh God.
You know what I'm talking
about? Well, I mean, they switched everything over several years ago.
If you say so.
But I remember like when Smash first came out, and I would try to do like a little group stream with the community, and I'd be like, all right, who the fuck is on dial-up right now? Somebody's ruining our game right now.
The answer is no.
Arcane League of Legends Season 1 Steelbook pre-order is on Amazon. Wait. Oh, it's in 4K. Oh shit. Oh
yeah,
shit.
it's a big deal.
Oh fuck. Oh shit. I'm buying this.
Andy, you buy this. Let me borrow it after.
I mean, it was the biggest disappointment. It was like Netflix. You were all about putting like amazing 4K visual shows and movies on your stuff, and Arcane is in 1080. What are we doing? That's awesome. That's exciting.
It's crazy that they're selling the Blu-ray. I imagine that's 1080, right?
Yeah, for sure. Because they have the separate 4K
Yeah,
version.
and there's a $3 difference. Who's not paying $3? Who's like, oh, I only have a Blu-ray player. Can't pay.
They got PS2 at home. Or Kevin, you don't know, bro.
Do PS2 plays? I don't. It's DVDs.
Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Oh, you're right. Shit, you're right. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius global version is ending service on October 30th. Japanese version will remain in service. That's the. Is that the one that had Ariana Grande on it? I think that's the.
Come again?
That's the mobile game. Brave Exvius. I'm pretty sure that's the one.
I think you're thinking Fortnite.
Ah, that's the one. You're right. You are right about
And
that.
it's pronounced Grandi.
It's Grandy, right, or something?
I don't know. I always just say that to be annoying.
I think it was Grande, but then she was like, "Nah, it's Grandy," but I go with Grande or whatever.
It's supposed to be like Italian or something. Grandi.
Anyway, that's it for our Wii News section. Let's get to some super chats right here, shall we? We have Dean with a $2 super chat. Says, "Combat sounds like advanced Mario and Luigi. I'm all in." That was for the Expedition 33. Thank you for your super chat, Dean. We got Guitar Hero Arrow with a $10 super chat. Says, "The problem with the Discless Pro is they've been selling their games on disc this whole gen. You're telling me I can't play any of my PS5 games on a Pro because you offered me the choice to buy physical?" Guitar Hero, I don't know what to tell you, bro. All right?
I bet you
don't get mad at me.
I bet you they sell you.
Yeah,
disk
the
drive.
little separate thing. Yeah, I mean,
Another $150.
I see that as a possibility for sure.
I don't like it.
Chun2D2, $2 super chat says, "Loved seeing a gaming TikToker on." Shout out Ronell. Thank you, Chun. John Fick with a $5 super chat says, "So pumped that Ronell is co-hosting today. Tell him John from the Geekiverse says what's up and congrats. He deserves it."
Hey, shout out to the Geekiverse.
Snazzy Glasses with a $5 super chat says, "Hey everyone, with you being a Mass Effect fan, Andy, were you aware of the board game? A trailer and pre-orders went live today." I'm not a board game guy. I get so like I am
turn-based.
I am the dude in the meme. Yeah, 2 turn-based. You got to sit there. You got to wait. But I'm the dude in the memes that's like, anytime you see somebody looking really scared and confused, and the meme is like, when you're at your friend's house and they're explaining the rules to you, that's me, bro. Like, I'm going to get 2 out of 10 of those rules you just told me. I'm going to feel like an idiot when I screw something up. I'm not that guy. I get very, very paranoid and scared. Chase a Lie with a $2 super chat says, "Isn't high-end graphics card a pro equivalent?" I mean, I don't really know. I would say no. Like, if you're talking like, is a 4090 equivalent to what a PS5 Pro may be? Still no. But I mean, you're getting closer and closer. I basically just want their upscaling tech to be a lot better, in addition to running things more natively. Like I want that game that is dropping down to 720p because it's trying to give you 60 frames per second. I want the upscaling to make it look like 1440p or 4K for me. Like, just have good upscaling tech, and the way DLSS has been so fantastic. And the final super chat comes from Adam 2 says, "Y'all seen the Astrobot trophy list? Plat incoming." No, I haven't. I don't do trophies. Are you a trophy or achievement guy right now?
I don't know. I look right past them. As soon as I got to collect something, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't give a dang. I get happy when I get them, but like, it's not something I ever really seek out. Spider-Man 2 was my first platinum ever.
Oh, wow.
And I just said first and last, pretty much. Let's check out the next segment called You're Wrong, where you write in to tell us what we were wrong about. A Loser says, "This is for Greg from yesterday. Catching the golden incision Harry Potter does not win you the game. It ends the game and gives your team 150 points. Wait, so what?
Typically, that would be an automatic win if the other team hasn't scored more than 150 points, or if they're not beating you by more than 150
Yeah,
points.
so you're telling me that a player can have like a massive error if they're losing 200 to 0.
And they grab the snitch.
They catch it. It's like, we won. It's like, no, we changed the rules this year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they didn't change the rules. That's what it is. That would just end the game. Because, like, there are games that go on for like 5 days sometimes.
That's bull. That's
and
stupid
the score
as shit.
Goes up.
That's stupid as shit.
It's dumb. It's a dumb game. No one thinks it's a good game.
Only a stupid ass transphobe would think of that shit. Just to be clear, Shinji, this comes from Chris, says, Shinji Mikami doesn't work for Capcom and hasn't for a long time. He's just saying that from his perspective, he doesn't think they're going to make more Dino Crisis. He is not a representative of Capcom saying, we're not going to make more Dino Crisis. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Thank you. That's the best You're Wrong I've ever seen, Chris. That's the best one.
Thank God.
And that does it for You're Wrong. This has been Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday, we run you through the nerdy news that you need to know about live on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services around the globe. If you love what we do, please support us with a Kinda Funny membership on Patreon or YouTube to get all of our shows ad-free, watch us record them live, and get a daily exclusive show. Enjoy the Gamescast next after this, but until then, Ronell, you are 8-Bit Close Fist on social platforms. You have a new podcast as well. What's that called, and where can people get it?
It's called Checkpoint the Show. First episode is coming out on YouTube. It'll be fun. Shout out my co-host, Lark Scene, and our producer, Zeno Robinson.
Look for that. Look for Checkpoint the Show on YouTube. Look, 8-Bit Close Fist. It's the number 8-Bit Close Fist, all as one word. Look for that on social platforms. Until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you, gamers.